Hey guys, it's good to see ya. Now this video is going to be about how to navigate SmartMusic and how to find music in SmartMusic. So there's going to be a lot of important information in here, so make sure you don't skip ahead, make sure you watch the whole thing, and this will be helpful to you, okay? So once you log in to SmartMusic, you're going to be brought to your home page, something like this, and if you followed the instructions in the other video, you would have enrolled in all of your classes that are pertinent to you. So you might see choir, drumline, concert band, all that stuff right here. So since we're going to be working with solo assignments in concert band, we are going to go over here to solos. So music categories, you also can find it in Find Music, but just go over here, click solos. And you're going to be brought to a ton of solos. Now, the SmartMusic library is absolutely enormous. It can be daunting to look at some of the music here, but what's important is learning how to use the search function. So I'm a trumpet player. I've got solos selected. There's also a bunch of other stuff up here. This stuff is for like multiple instruments, so like something we might do in band. It's not really applicable to you, so don't even worry about it. So you're going to have solo selected. I'm a trumpet player, so I'm going to type in trumpet. And you get a ton of options. You even get options that aren't for trumpet, that it kind of, you can have the option of playing like a French horn part transposed for trumpet. But just to make it easier, I'm just going to select the very first one. These Bordoni exercises, those are pretty nice. So when you open a piece of music, just click open. This says B-flat trumpet. Sometimes the reason why my cursor is canceled out there is because I have my primary instrument in my profile selected as trumpet. So if I wanted to change that, say I'm Owen and I want to do a trombone thing rather than a bass clarinet thing, I might have to go to my profile up here and then change my primary instrument in my profile. Okay, so let's say this is the one I kind of want to look at. I'm going to look at number 2. Click open. Okay, so these Bordoni exercises, those are pretty good. So when you get to the music, you're going to be given a ton of options here. So the first thing that you kind of want to click on is play, just to see what it sounds like. It's going to give you a count off and it's going to play some accompaniment. You might not be able to hear it on the recording, but you will on your own computer. Okay, so you can kind of hear it. Hopefully you can hear it, that it does play the trumpet part as well as a piano accompaniment, and which is kind of nice. It's nice to be able to play with sort of accompaniment in the background. What's cool about this program is you can adjust the levels of the accompaniment up here to make the piano maybe a little bit quieter or louder, and you can also adjust the sound of your part. So if you're feeling pretty confident in your sight reading abilities and you're saying, yeah, I don't need a computer to tell me what my part sounds like, you can turn it right off and mute it. Also, there's a metronome up here that just helps you keep the beat, and you can turn that off if you feel like you don't need it. Now, what's also really cool about SmartMusic is when you play along, it will tell you if you're playing the right notes or not. So if you wanted to, say, make a recording, this is what you would do. You would go to My Takes, press record. It's going to say, do you want to use your microphone, melodic through microphone? Yes. Test your microphone and give a little ping. And then you're good to go. So it's going to start off. Da, 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 da. Now I'm going to sing some wrong notes. Da, 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 da. So right there, it told me that I was playing the wrong notes. So it shows up as wrong when it's in red, and it shows up as green when it's more or less accurate. Okay? So this is what's really cool is if you're not sure you're playing the right notes, it tells you, which is really cool. So let's say you played through the whole song and you are happy with your take. you can also listen to your take right here. So this will play back what you just did. You can also save your take, and it gives you a percentage of right notes. So it's almost like a bit of a game. So my percentage of right notes in this song was 3%. So that wasn't very good. But let's say I'm happy with that. So I'm going to save it. And it just saves it as a, saves you as a WAV file right there. So it saves it on the computer, which is really, really convenient. If you're interested in making it full screen, just go over to display and click that button right there. And then that way you don't have to worry about seeing notes on the page that are coming up that you're not sure about. So for percussion, one of the things I noticed, and this is going to be important for you, one of the things I noticed is that sometimes the metronome doesn't exactly line up with the music. And it's not quite as evident with the music pieces right here, but it's really evident with the snare drum parts. So if you're a percussion player, here's what you're going to do. So percussion players, since most of you play percussion instruments, you're not like Isabella where you do mostly mallet percussion, you're still going to go over to solos. But everything you're going to be doing is going to be with drumsticks, on a binder, on a hardcover textbook, on a table, and you're essentially going to be emulating a snare drum. So for percussion players, select sight reading and singing. Select solos. Okay, so right here, snare drum, this is going to be your bread and butter. So levels 1 through 10. Okay, so I'm going to select level 1. Click open. Now, the reason it's not letting me pick snare drum is that my instrument in my profile is probably selected as a flute. So I'm going to change my primary instrument to snare drum. I'm going to go back to solos. Okay, going to select sight reading and singing, deselect solos, back to level 1, fingers crossed. There we go, so it opens it up. And I'm going to go down to percussion, and we'll go movement 1. Okay, so let's say this is the solo snare piece that I wanted to work on. It's very grade 6, and that's okay. So let's say I like it. I'm going to listen to it first. Okay, so I'm going to fiddle with the levels just so that I can hear my part. But one of the things I think you might want to do, and I found this for me, was with the metronome, there's a way to turn it off so that rather than having a beat cursor, so it just sort of clicks along with the beat, I like flow cursor way better. Flow cursor moves smoothly, and then click cursor, particularly with the beat cursor with the harder rhythms, it doesn't exactly show the metronome. And you may actually want to turn the metronome off when you are doing your exercises, because sometimes it doesn't match up with the music and can kind of throw you off. So it might be better just to listen to your part without the metronome and just the flow cursor than to listen with the metronome and the beat cursor. That's my take on it. So this is the basics of how to use SmartMusic. So I really want you to go into SmartMusic, find some music that you like, play around with a program, and all the instructions will be in Google Classroom on what you're going to be doing with that piece of music. And yeah, if you have any questions, don't feel afraid to ask. I'm kind of getting good at this program, so I might be able to help you. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. See ya.